Retro.
Are you an aspiring Jedi, or do you dabble with the dark side of the Force?
Regardless of whether you fancy yourself a defender of the light or an aspiring Sith Lord, you're going to need a lightsaber.
Podcast Stardust is pleased to partner with Saber Masters, the creators of high-quality, durable, and affordable lightsabers.
Saber Masters is preparing to launch the Ultimate Lightsaber 2.0, and right now you can get 2 for the price of 1.
So, check out the link in our show notes and go get your Ultimate Lightsabers from Saber Masters.
And don't forget to use our referral code STARDUST to save $10 at checkout.
And each purchase using our referral code helps support Podcast Stardust.
Hi, this is Fred Tatasciore, and you're listening to Dennis and Jay on Podcast Stardust. The Force is strong with both of them.
Hello, and welcome to Podcast Stardust. This is the fully armed and operational podcast dedicated to Star Wars news, reviews, and discussion. I'm Dennis Keithley.
And I'm Jay Krebs.
In this episode, we're going to get back into some Phantom Menace Trivia. But before we get into the questions, Jay, where can we be found around the internet?
We're easily found around the internet on Facebook, Instagram, and sometimes X at Podcast Stardust.
All right, the dish is aligned, the signal is boosted to maximum output, the shield is down, and we are now broadcasting to the galaxy. So we are recording this in advance to accommodate some travel that Jay has got, and we've been having fun with this. So this will be part 6 of our trivia from the Phantom Menace. It will correspond to part 6 in our Phantom Menace series, which covered 55 minutes and 3 seconds in the movie to 1 hour, 10 minutes, and 4 seconds. This is the pod race, and there are some questions I know you're going to get right away, Jay, but there are also some very detail-oriented questions that are going to be challenging. So let's just set expectations right off the bat.
Well, I'm always here for trivia. I don't always do the greatest, but it's so much fun, and I'm such a sucker for trivia, so it's a good time no matter what.
I just hope you're not frustrated by question 10. So anyway, let's see what happens.
Throwing disclaimers out already. Okay, here we go.
Well, the first one you're going to get. What is the name of the pod race Anakin participates in during the Phantom Menace?
The Boonta Eve Classic. That one I do know.
That is correct. So, off on a good note there. All right, question number 2, slightly more difficult. What are the names of the announcers for the pod race?
Bode and Feed. Ooh, ah, ooh.
What did you say?
Bode and Feed.
It's Fode and Bead.
Fode and Bead. Uh-oh.
You got the sound effect right.
You got it.
Okay.
Wait,
but there's a bonus attached.
What?
It's Fode and Bead.
Fode and Bead. Okay. Did I say Bode and Feed? I did. Okay.
That's the mistake I always make, so you're not alone in that one.
All right.
There's a bonus to this question, though.
Oh, okay.
Which is which?
Oh, my goodness. Okay. Fode?
50-50 getting this right.
Fode is on the left. Bead's on the right?
Yes. Fode, if you're looking at it, is the left head, which would be on our right. And he's the one with the red tint and speaking basic. Bead is the right head, which is on our left, speaking Huttese.
Gotcha.
So you get the point because you got the bonus. All right.
From a certain point of view.
Let's see how big a geek you are here. What system is Ben Quadraneros from?
Oh my gosh. I should know this. Ben Quadraneros. Magito?
The Tund system.
Ah, shoot. Okay.
All right.
Darn.
Which 2 friends accompany Anakin onto the track?
That would be Kitster and Wald.
Very good. You got it.
Yay.
All right. I think you'll get this next one. What color is Sebulba's pod?
Orange.
It is indeed. All right. So you're 4 or 5. Not bad.
Woo.
Which one of the pod racers had pole position for the Boonta Eve Classic?
Oh. Oh my gosh. Would that be...
I'll take either his name or what species he is.
Oh my gosh. I can't think of it. Is it the one with the pit droids? The dude with the pit droids?
No.
No, Klieg Hold Fast.
No.
No.
The
Or
answer
Mental.
is if you keep naming them all, eventually you'll get it. But we're gonna call the buzzer on that one. Mahonic, who was the Grand.
Oh, darn it. Oh yeah, that's right. Mahonic with the yes, okay.
Question number 7. What recurring Star Wars number is attached to Deadbolt's pod racer?
1138.
Good guess, but it is actually 327.
Oh, darn it.
He has a Volturine 327.
Really? Okay, that's very cool.
Yeah, see, this is why I said some of these are going to be tough.
No, that's awesome. I did not know that it was 327. I think that's really cool.
I wouldn't have gotten that question if I hadn't looked it up. So anyway, who carries Anakin's flag onto the pod racing track? This is question number 8.
Naked C-3PO.
Correct. Yeah. His parts are showing, but he doesn't seem to mind being out in public that way.
He was quite the exhibitionist, wasn't he?
He only got embarrassed in front of R2-D2 for some reason.
That's interesting.
All right. What last bit of advice does Shmi give to Anakin right before the pod race? Or what does she tell him to do?
Be safe.
Very good.
That's a mom thing.
Oh, definitely. So
I tell my kid every time he leaves the house, be safe.
Be safe. Text when you get there.
Yes.
Question number 10. And you're going to get this one. Who sabotages Anakin's pod racer?
Oh, Sebulba.
Very good.
Bad guy.
All right. What advice, this is question 11. What advice does Qui-Gon give Anakin before the race starts?
I got this.
Mm-hmm.
Feel. Don't think.
Yeah, there's 3 things that he says. Remember, concentrate on the moment. Feel, don't think, and
Trust
use
your
your
instincts.
instincts. Yeah, but feel, don't think is one of those, so you get them.
Yay.
All right. Which notorious Tatooine boss oversees the pod race?
That would be Jabba the Hutt.
Yep. AKA Ezra Bridger. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes. See, I was trying to put a little suspense on there. Jabba the Hutt.
All right. Question number 13. Which Hutt accompanies Jabba to the pod race?
Gardula.
That's correct.
Because she likes to bet on those pods.
Mm-hmm. And then, of course, that's how she lost Anakin and Shmi. So,
yeah.
Question 14.
Stay away.
What does Padme accuse the Jedi of being as they are boarding the viewing platform for the pod race?
Being reckless.
Yes, that's correct.
You're far too reckless.
Mm-hmm. What ironic statement does Qui-Gon make to Padme after being called reckless? This is question 15.
Ooh. The Queen Judge trusts my judgment. You should too.
Yes, the Queen trusts my judgment, young handmaiden. You should too. Very good. You are currently 12 out of 15. You're doing well.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay.
I need to breathe because my overconfidence could be my weakness.
That's right. How does Jabba officially start the pod race?
Ding. He spits that whatever that frog thing at the gong.
That's right. He officially starts the race by biting the head off of a frog and spitting it at the gong.
Yay.
And then the little thing buzzes and everyone takes off.
Boop.
Okay. Who is the first pod racer to get knocked out of the Boonta Eve pod race?
Oh, shoot. Is that Klieg Holdfast?
No, it's your answer for all the pod racers.
That's the only one I know. No, I'm kidding. It's Ben Quadraneros, right?
No.
Because Because I thought his like things went all over the place, and they just. Who
It was
that?
Mahonic.
Oh, that was Mahonic. Okay.
Yeah, but there is a bonus. So you can redeem the point. Who knocks him out?
Click hold fast. No. Um. Odie Mandrel?
No, the answer is Sebulba.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I should have went with the obvious.
Question 18. Which bounty hunter makes a cameo appearance during the race?
Aura Singh, which we talked about this. My kids did not know for the longest time because we had the, 4:3 aspect ratio or whatever it was on the television. So you had to put it on like 16:9 in order to be able to see her. And so, yeah. So like they didn't know it for the longest time and I had forgotten it for a very long time too. And just recently, when we went back to see the Phantom Menace in the theater, Colby Wan even mentioned that. He's like, I didn't know Aura Singh was up there. I was like, oh, yeah, because you guys never watched it in that aspect growing up.
That's right.
That's crazy. I didn't even realize that. Like, I knew it in my head, from originally seeing it. But then all those years, it was just kind of a lost piece of information. Okay,
took years for us to actually understand who she was and why she was important.
Yeah, so cool though.
All right, question number 19. Which pod racer crashes in the cave and perishes in a fireball?
That's Odie Mandrel.
That'd be Rats
He goes,
Terrell.
Is it Rats Terrell? Oh,
yes.
Because he makes that little noise right before he crashes.
Yeah. Right. Question
That's
20.
Right. Yes, because I'm sorry.
You'll get this one.
Okay.
Question 20. Who takes pot shots at the racers at the Canyon Dune turn?
The Tusken Raiders.
Very good.
Which I love how Fode and Bede talk about that. There's some Tusken Raiders parked out on the Canyon Dune curve or whatever. That was awesome.
Mm-hmm. All right, you're going to get question 21. What happens to Quadranerus's pod racer?
It goes boom.
Be more specific.
The pods all go in like opposite directions, and then they cross over each other, and they go.
Right. Technically, the pod is what he sits in, but
the engines.
Yeah, that's right. The power coupling fails, and the engines all fly off and crash. So that's a point for you.
There goes Quadraneros's power coupling.
You got it. Good impressions by you.
Thank
you.
That's the only way I remember this stuff is that if I actually like play it out in my head.
You may not have gotten the names correct, but you do a good impression of them. So,
well, thank you.
All right. Question 22. Which racer is in first place after the first circuit?
Sebulba.
Correct. I thought for sure you were going to say Klieg.
I should have, just because. He's so proper.
All right. Question number 23. What causes Odie Mandrel to exit the race?
His pit droid crew.
Very good.
One of them gets caught in his engine, the little, Three Stooges of pit droids. And he goes, oh, no. Nice. There you go.
All right. Question 24. What creature does Jabba knock off the balcony of his viewing platform?
Oh, it's one of those little, I don't know what they're called. They're like the little froggy things. And it goes,
it was actually a Nuna.
Is that what that is?
Yep.
The little Nunas. Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right. Question 25. What maneuver does Anakin execute to get past Team 2 Pagalis?
Oh, he goes up on the service ramp.
No.
Okay.
Flipped his pod over him.
Okay. Oh, yes.
You're a little ahead of yourself.
Yeah, it was a little. Yeah. That was Sebulba that he used the service ramps for.
Uh-huh. All right. Question 26. How does Sebulba eliminate Mars Goa from the race?
He pulls something out of his pod and he chucks it up into the air, and then it goes into his engine and causes him to crash.
That is correct. And I got to tell you, I envisioned it was like a wrench. But then when I went back and watched this segment, it's not exactly certain what it was that he threw in there. But it's described on Wikipedia as a piece of metal. So
Oh, okay. Maybe it was one of his like empty beer cans in his pod. Who knows?
yeah, okay.
I
Yeah.
could see
Well, you got the
Sybil
point
doing
though.
something like that.
Okay. This is question number 27. Which observer of the race knocks Team 2 Pagalis out?
Which observer of the race
Hmm.
next? Oh, a Tuscan Raider.
That's correct.
Yes.
They get a lucky shot in on him that time.
Yes, they did.
All right. Question 28. What place is Anakin after he completes 2 laps?
Is he in third?
He is in second place.
Second place. I was gonna. I should have said that. I should have went with my first inclination. That's okay.
Hmm. Question 29 is a true or false. Anakin lands ahead of Sebulba after being forced onto the service ramp.
That is true.
That is true. That's
Yes.
correct. All right. And then the final question number 30. Who was asleep at the end of the race?
Jabba.
That is correct. Jabba the
Yes.
Hutt. So
Because his major domo had to
yeah,
tap him, wake him
the
up.
Fortuna.
Yes.
Poke. So, all right, let me tabulate the points up here. That's 5, 10, 15, 20, 22. You got 22 out of 30, which
Hey.
that's pretty good because a lot of these questions had to do with pod racers' names, and I don't think the average Star Wars fan actually knows all those names. So, good work by you, Jay.
Thanks. Cleek, hold fast. There's no question. No.
I'm gonna have to write a question for the next round of trivia. That's the answer. Just that because after this.
Just because.
Yeah. All right. Well, then that'll bring us to the end of this round of trivia. Thank you all for joining us for this episode of Podcast Stardust. We hope you've enjoyed it, and thank you for indulging us with this episode. And we've done this a number of times over the course of the summer as we had to accommodate my vacation, and now Jay's got some travel as well. But we didn't want to leave you all without an episode, so this was just a fun way to fill in some of that time. And hey, let us know how you did on the trivia, what your score was, and we'll get to our social media contacts in a minute, and you can chime in there and let us know. But if you enjoyed the episode, then I'd encourage you to subscribe to Podcast Stardust on your podcatcher of choice. We're going to have at least 5 more of these before we're done. And you can also catch our other episodes, which cover news, reviews, discussions of all sort. And we come out 3 times a week, if you didn't already know. And if you want to find our entire back catalog of shows, then head over to retrozap.com and you can find other great podcasts covering things like superheroes and Star Trek, Dune, and much, much more. We always appreciate your ratings and reviews, and a great place to do that is Apple Podcasts. Take 30 seconds of your time, head over there, leave us a 5-star review and some words about what you like about the show, and I'll make sure to read it on the podcast on a future episode. And we also are very appreciative of your sharing the show with your friends on social media. So now that I've made 2 references to that, Jay, I think it's time for you to tell everybody where we can be found across the internet.
All right. Well, it's very easy. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and sometimes X at Podcast Stardust. And would love to hear how y'all did on your trivia, or at least if you enjoyed listening to us go back and forth and do some of our impressions and just have some fun. So once again, Instagram, Facebook, and X, Podcast Stardust. And you can also check out our many Pinterest boards and both of our YouTube outlets, which are YouTube the usual and YouTube Music, which also support some interactions and reviews. So head over to both of those, like, subscribe, and share those out as well. And if you want to connect with us in real time, you can do that on our Discord room, which is on the RetroZap Discord server. So the link to that will be in our show notes, as well as the link to our TeePublic store. So if you would like to snag something from that website, we have 7 different Podcast Stardust logo designs available on tons of different items, from apparel to home goods and everything in between. And every one of those purchases does help to support the show. And another way you can support the show is by picking up a lightsaber from Saber Master. So if you are in the market for a new saber, Whether you are on the light side or the dark side of the Force or somewhere in between, there's tons of battle ready sabers over there for your choosing. So the link to that is in our show notes, or you can head to sabermasters.com. And if you do pick something up, make sure you put in the code Stardust at checkout, and that will get you an extra $10 off of your purchase. And it also helps to support the show. So with that, Dennis, why don't you let everybody know what kinds of things you have on the horizon for your other podcasting adventures, including Warp Trails?
Yeah, so Warp Trails is hosted by myself and my wife Beth, and we are talking Star Trek over there. Up next will be our coverage of Star Trek Lower Decks. So we don't have any shows out at the moment, recent shows, I should say. But yeah, once Lower Decks is here, we'll be putting out some fresh content. The podcast is exclusive to the RetroZap podcast feed, so you need to look for that on your podcast of choice, or just head over to retrozap.com and you can get all of our previous shows covering Discovery, Picard, Lower Decks, and Strange New Worlds. Jay, what do you got going on with cosplay?
All right. Well, right now is, as I was saying, the calm before the storm. I have tons of things already coming up on my calendar for the late fall and late summer, early fall, I guess I should say. And so you can check out where I might be and other kinds of things I have going on over at j.snips cosplay on Instagram. And you can catch me as Ahsoka, Hera, 2 different versions. So both from Rebels and from the Ahsoka series, as well as the Fourth Sister Inquisitor, my original concept, Mandalorian, which is based on Tahiri Vela from Legends, as well as some other really fun things. And I've got some other stuff in the works that I may be debuting at a couple of events this fall as well. So I'll be checking back as soon as I nail down those commitments and let y'all know where you can find me. But until then, j.snips cosplay.
All right, well, this is normally where I tell you what's upcoming on the show, but I don't really know that yet because we haven't worked out August's calendar yet. So hang in there. We'll be getting back into the news. We'll have some fun discussion episodes, and Jay and I have already started talking about some potential books and maybe comics to cover sometime over the course of this month. So make sure you come back for all of that. But with that, just want to say thank you for listening to this episode of Podcast Stardust. Have a great day, and until next time, may the Force be with you.
Is that Klieg Holdfast?
No, it's your answer for all the pirates.
That's the only one I know. No, I'm kidding.